Russia-Ukraine war. Moscow gains, Kyiv retreats on the defensive. The situation for Ukraine is becoming more dire, as Russia is making significant gains on the eastern and southeastern fronts. Russian forces are not only conducting airstrikes on Ukrainian cities, but are also strengthening their grip on the battlefield. Russia's war superiority. Russia has made advances against Ukraine on several fronts, with the most alarming situation being seen in the Kupiansk region. It is a strategic city, which Ukraine liberated from Russian occupation in 2022, but is now under threat again. If the city falls under Russian control, it will become easier for Moscow to advance further into the Kharkiv region. Similarly, the city of Krakow is under intense pressure, where the Ukrainian army has been holding off Russian forces for several months, but the situation has now become critical. However, experts believe that even if this city is captured by Russia, it will not have much impact on the overall defense strategy of Ukraine. Strengthening Ukraine's defenses. Despite Moscow's successful attacks, the Ukrainian military has forced Russia to retreat on some fronts, especially in the city of Pokrovsk, where Russia launched heavy attacks but still did not gain full control. According to George Barros, an expert at the U.S. think tank Institute for the Study of War, ISW, Russia is suffering too much for limited gains. 4. Example, after the capture of Ovidivka, the Russian army was able to advance only 30 to 40 kilometers, while hundreds of tanks and armored vehicles were destroyed. Challenges for Russia. Although Russia enjoys military superiority, economic pressure is also mounting. Russia's economy is struggling due to rising war spending. Inflation is rising, and the central bank has had to raise interest rates to 21%. In addition, Russia is also facing a shortage of military manpower, and when conscription was last announced, hundreds of thousands of Russian men fled the country. Russia has called in troops from North Korea to fill the gap, which may provide temporary support, but heavy losses of war equipment may be difficult to cover. Ukraine's future depends on Western support. Ukraine's future depends on how long Western allies, especially the United States, continue to provide aid. If the West, especially the United States, continues to support Ukraine for the next 12 to 18 months, Russia could face a shortage of UK's relationships with its Western allies. Donald Trump's possible return to the U.S. presidential election in November 2024 is a big question mark. Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky says the war could end quickly if Trump is re-elected, but experts say it could lead to a cut in Western aid to Ukraine, which would directly benefit Russia. The result: the war between Russia and Ukraine has turned into a war of nerves. Russia has pressured Ukraine, but its own economy and military resources are also becoming limited. The outcome of the war now depends on whether the Western allies continue to support Ukraine. The next few months could determine the future of this battle.